Hello once again, audience.
Oi!
When we left off, I was in the biome, getting chased by bugs, and now it's time to be in the Arctic biome. How's that for a Tobuscus intro? That poor guy, you know, I went back and watched the Toby Games Tobuscus videos from Happy Wheels days back in 2013. They are so freaking funny. That guy is so funny. It's just really a shame what happened to his channel and himself. So anyway, we're here at the Arctic biome. I have to admit, I didn't know how this whole jumping between biomes worked. I finally figured out that it's you talk to Helena, and she does she have a gender? Is she a she? She's just a, or do I say it? And Helena takes you to whatever biome you're going. Now, I didn't realize it was like the monoliths, or like the boss fights where there is a globe and it sucks in all your dinos and everything. Because I was standing in my base when I first tried it, and it grabbed all my tames from the bog and pulled them over here, which is not what I wanted. So I had to go take everything back again. And now I'm here solo. I have nothing else. If you watched the previous streams, you'll see that I had brought a rock drake over from my Valguero server, but I took it back. So I installed a mod on Ragnarok that it's called Ragnarok Plus, and it extends Ragnarok to have aberration caves and aberration creatures and creatures from extinction. So there's like corrupted creatures out in the desert and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. So I popped over there to take a look and make sure it was all working. And when I did that, I took that drake with me and left it there. So I don't have any non-Genesis creatures anymore. I took them all back. Now that doesn't mean I don't have an advantage, obviously, because I am level 99. I've been leveling on our other servers on the cluster, so I'm level 99. So that gives me a huge leg up. But we did have that whole Genesis crash fiasco, which shut all our servers down, removed all our mods. So I don't know if this is hard to follow, but when you look at this, so we had lost all our mods. Now that includes S Plus and everything else, which means those engrams are now forgotten. So anything that was a mod engram is now forgotten. Now that's not such a bad thing, because as you can see here, all the S Plus stuff is 000. It doesn't cost anything. However, the other mods do cost things. So we have the Castle, Keeps, and Forts mod installed, and as you can see, that is 111111111. Now I had learned all of these, so when we turned on Genesis and it updated and set everything back to default, I lost the knowledge of those things, and I lost those engrams I spent, because it's not going to give me the engrams back. So I just lost however many engrams. So at some point, I may have to do a mind wipe and start from scratch again, just so I can regain those lost engrams. So I found this spot. Oh, I had no idea it was going to be dark. I didn't pay attention. I don't know what the nights are like here. So I found this spot, and I'm sure it's a very common spot to build in, because it is freaking gorgeous. You've got the cool looking mountain there, you've got the cool looking mountain there, and the frozen lake below, and the structures from who knows what on that side, and there's one over here too, right there. So it's a really beautiful spot. Let me see if I can zoom out here a bit. Yeah, so cool drop off, and I thought this. I haven't really used the Castles and Keeps mod much, and I thought, wow, this is a place to build a castle. But as we just saw, I need to learn all of those engrams again to even build anything here. Okay, it gets getting like serious dark. And then let me see if I can do anything about that. Here, we'll put this here. I don't like that. What is that? I mean, I know what it is. It's, hey, how's it going? So I know what this is. It is Helena showing you the boundaries, the mission boundaries or something like that. I wish you could turn it off. I don't know if you can or not. Oh, you're currently studying. Doesn't sound like it. So I don't know what this is. I don't like it. I wish I could shut it off because, frankly, during the day it's kind of hard to place things with that in the background. It's weird. I mean, I like I don't. I'm not a fan of the whole storyline that you're in a simulation and all that stuff. But okay, I can accept it and move on. But when they do things like that, that just throws it in your face all the time. I don't know. So I wanted to build a castle at this spot using the Castle Keeps and Forts mod because it's such a gorgeous area, and I think a big castle here would be awesome. But the problem is, you've been procrastinating studying. Yeah, I'm pretty good at. I think I'm a professional procrastinator. There's a million more constructive things I could be doing right now, but instead I thought, you know, I'm going to stream ARK. And because streaming it seems to me like kind of a job, I justify it like I could totally be streaming. That's like a real thing to do. So anyway, so yeah, that would, like you said, this is a beautiful spot. I think it would make a gorgeous castle, but the problem is the way this Castle Keeps and Forts mod works. I don't quite understand the logic behind it, because castles are made of stone, right? For the most part. So if you go down to the engrams here, which I have to relearn all of, and look at them, you can see it takes 40 metal to make one piece. You said I've been playing way too long and have 2 important exams in less than a month. Oh, is it more about cement? I believe you were telling me. So, for me, making a castle is going to be very expensive because this area, at least where I'm at right now, isn't very metal rich. You have more cement and math. Ew, math. So 40 metal to make one stone wall. And if you see here, it's not metal bars, it's just raw metal. So, I don't know if it's... I'm a little worried it's too... Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of metal. Just, I might as well be making... How much is a metal structure? Now I'm even curious. I've never made a metal base. I don't like the sound of it. When you're walking, going a ting, ting, ting. I don't... So I've never made a base out of metal because it just seems like yuck. So a wall here. 25 ingot, which is 2. So yeah, I guess that's about the same amount of metal. Yeah, I prefer the more natural materials too. It's just, it looks nicer, it sounds nicer, it feels warmer. I'm not a fan of the metal or even the tech. I'm kind of like, eh. But so I don't know. I haven't been to the other biomes. I've been to the bog. I've been to this one. I don't know if the others hold anything interesting that I would rather make my main base there. So I thought maybe just making an outpost here until I see everything and then deciding. I've heard the ocean platforms can be pretty cool to build on. I've seen some pretty cool pictures of people making ocean platforms. I'm hesitant about that because of the whole Leucisthus thing, the big giant whale that attacks rafts. I would assume it's there. And it seems like a lot of work to build a big fancy floating platform base and then just lose it to a whale attack. Big fish attack. Yeah. Another problem with this location is I don't know how to get down. I have the glider suit, and that's how I got up here. But as far as walking dinos down, I haven't found like a legit path. Oh, hello, bear. And this is something else that seems like a bug to me. If you see down here in the corner, it says, you are in a snowstorm. What are you doing, Elena? It says you are in a snowstorm and I don't see any snow. And I read that the hail and all this stuff in this biome is supposed to hurt you and it's supposed to be really bad, but I don't see it. Now, it might be a video card setting or a setting in my video options. I don't know. I don't see rain either. So I think that's kind of strange. I didn't realize it was turning dark when I started streaming, so that kind of sucks. So these little six-armed things, little cute things that turn into not cute things. One of them, while I was here, walked up and just like looked at me. He walked up to me and kind of stared at me and then walked away. And I was like, I'm not taming you. You turned into a big, monstrous, terrible thing. So, yeah, they're really cute. I don't understand that whole gaming mechanic. It's like I've never tamed a Giga because I don't want something that's going to freak out and destroy my base. And that kind of sounds like what they do. They don't transform it. So it's not like a Giga then, because Gigas, you know, if you walk down a hill too steep, they get a little bit hurt, they freak out. It would be kind of nice if they transformed in times of need, like the Hulk, you know? When he's getting hurt and there's trouble, then he transforms. But not if he's getting hurt casually. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I can't find a way down. I'll have to build a path. Since we have supports required turned off on the server, it shouldn't be too hard. Because you don't need all the bracing to keep a road or a pathway up. Although these are pretty high. But I'd like a place to walk dinos down. They get addicted. They get addicted to element? Well, mine won't, because I never have much of that. Since my tribe isn't very active, I have not killed many bosses, so I don't have access to a lot of element. What level is that bear? 24. Alright. I'm not that worried about it then. Is there a way down here? 30. kind of handy actually to get a Gigantopithecus. Yeah, you can buy it in the shop thing. I saw that. And that's how I got some... I was kind of looking around the bog biome for metal, or excuse me, oil. I just couldn't find any, and then I realized, oh, you gotta buy it from Helena. It's kind of lame. There isn't a path down. There really isn't. Holy crap. I thought about building a base higher up on the mountain. There's a mountain over here that's pretty cool, but the higher up you get, it gets freaking cold. So, yeah, up there. So, no. Yeah, I'm gonna have to build a way down. Okay, so for most things you need to change biomes to get it, and yeah. It is annoying, and I kind of feel, you know, by trade, I am a game designer, level designer, so I make worlds, and I just find this kind of a cop-out, you know? It feels like, okay, we couldn't get these to, like, all be together, so we're just gonna make them separate in one map. Like, you couldn't make them flow together? Why does it have to be this separated simulation thing? I don't... It feels kind of cheap, in my opinion. Maybe it all ties together at the end to make sense, but right now it feels like this kind of a lazy idea. Like, how are we going to get all these to be together? We'll just say it's a simulation. It reminds me, I was working on Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and I got there and I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? And they said, well, we've just been making cool levels and they don't really make sense together, so can you work on the transitions so they make sense? Wow, you didn't think of that when you sat down and started making your level? You didn't sit down and map out your game, and it's kind of weird. Yeah, I saw Syntac has all endings and all this stuff, but I didn't watch it because I have Syntac issues. So there's not a lot of stone here. I've been kind of looking for stone. I've picked a weird place. It's just too gorgeous to not build. Here. It's got the lake, it's got the gorgeous mountain and the little structures, and then the big mountain up there. Yeah, we talked about my Syntac issues last time. I admit it's a little bit fueled by jealousy. I would love to be a professional streamer, and I just feel like sometimes he doesn't appreciate it, but it happens to all of us, I guess. Do I appreciate that I'm a game developer? Probably not. Where are rocks? You're not a real rock, are you? Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off the mountain just to get enough supplies to build up here. So I need something strong to carry everything, and so it sounds like I should probably tame an RG. There are some really gorgeous looking RGs running around. And and they can carry a lot. Any of you guys worth anything? 66, 24, 30, nope. The passive tame would be the way to go, so I just don't think any of those are high enough level to bother with. Yeah, I really enjoy, I don't know if you saw, I mean, I haven't been posting that much on my Instagram page, which, by the way, I don't know what's going on with that. It rose to like 2,100 followers, or 2,400 or something, and then it just started dropping like a rock. And now it's going to be soon under 2,000, so I don't know why. I don't know. Hey, I think I found rocks. I mean, maybe I slowed down posting from the holidays and everyone left. I don't know. But, yeah, I really love the patterns and looks of the new, and the colors of the new Genesis variations. But almost. Yeah, Instagram's a weird place. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I can get followers on there do a few cool posts and people follow you, but the minute you take a break and don't post for a day, they're gone. And I don't know why that is, because as an Instagram user, I don't sit there watching the people I follow. I was like, oh, they haven't posted today, screw them, you know. So I don't know why that happens. And then also, Instagram, quite frankly, doesn't help me at all. Doing Instagram posts doesn't bring people to my Twitch account, and it doesn't bring people to my YouTube account. So I have 2,000 followers on Instagram, and I have 80 something on YouTube, and even less than that on Twitch. So it doesn't gain anything for me. I don't. So when the numbers started dropping, I was like, oh, that's weird. Don't really care. Yeah. I understand it's an algorithm, but I don't... When I follow someone on Instagram, I don't like actively wait for them to screw up so I can stop following them. That's kind of what it feels like. It kind of feels like they're all just going, okay, if he doesn't post today, he's gone. And I talked to my girlfriend's kid. He's a teenager, and he said the same thing. He said he does that. He said if they don't post in a couple days, he removes them. Like, and I was just like, how do you monitor these people so closely if you have hundreds of accounts you follow? But I don't know. People have a ton of time, yeah, and they, you know, I don't want to sound like back in my day, but they have a lot of time and they don't do as much, it seems. I mean, they're doing stuff, but it's all like online sitting in a chair, so. Yeah, but so you've done nothing but play ARK for the last 4 days, but it's because an expansion just came out. I mean, that makes sense. The expansion comes out, you consume it for a while, then you go, okay, I need to get back to work, and that's cool. That's fine. That's not. I want to build one of these crafting stations because they hold a lot more than those stupid crates. But I'm out of... Oh, I got it. I thought I didn't have enough hide. Awesome. So I have kind of a cool announcement on my personal life, at least. See, I hate that. You go to play something and it's just like, why do you have to show me this? I don't need to know. So my kind of cool announcement is I don't work for Ubisoft anymore. I quit there. And it's good because Ubisoft, if you've ever worked at a factory, Ubisoft is a game company that feels like a factory. You were there, it's a big brick building, and it feels like a factory when you're there, and the work is like a factory. I mean, you're like... I understand all game companies can be an enjoyable place to work, but there are some that are better and some that are worse. Let's just say I'm glad to be out of there. It's just a little depressing. You want to have this kind of creative spirit, and when you, like, let's say you ship Far Cry, and then you're like, okay, you get back from a break after you ship, and you're like, I'm ready to work on the next thing. What is it? And then it's like, well, more Far Cry, of course. Why? What didn't we do in the last one? Oh, we're going to add this new thing and this new thing. Okay, so you're just kind of like making the same game again. And I understand that's a money-making reason. I mean, you want to make another sequel, but it gets old. And so I don't work there anymore, and I got a job at Squanch. And if you're familiar, Squanch is the company made by Justin Roiland, the guy who created Rick and Morty, one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty. So I'm going to be working with him, which is kind of cool. And I'm allowed to work remotely, so I can stay here in Toronto and not move to Burbank, where Squanch is. Not that I have a problem with Burbank. I actually lived there for a while. My daughter was born there, but my family here doesn't want to leave and move to a new place, so it's good. So of course the title we're working on is unannounced, but I don't know. I think it's better. Never worked from home before, so could be a great thing, or I could be totally distracted by games. I don't start for like 2 weeks, so I'm not wasting my time right now. So I'm just gonna put a floor here, so I'm not... Oh, you son of a... Actually, it's not a bad place for that, but I need to make some space for myself. Yeah, their schedule is different. So they're on the West Coast, so there are 4 hours difference, I believe, so... But that's fine. I'm kind of a night owl anyway. So the Castle Keeps and Forts mod is expensive for metal, as we've seen, and I don't like the look of the floor, the foundations in it anyway, so I'll just start foundations this way and go from there. Now we've got that symbol in the corner still that says you are in a snowstorm, and from what Helena said, you get hurt from hail. They said some of the hail is just sleet and some of it will hurt you. And since I can't even see it, I don't know. You would think there wouldn't be this sunny day and you'd think I would see snow. I don't know. I did a search on Google and I couldn't find... There's a few people complaining about the problem, but it wasn't since Genesis. It was like 2017, and so I have kind of a feeling after the Genesis update, it reset things, and I probably have a video game or a video setting that isn't displaying it. Is my guess. Oh. Are these just regular? Huh. Oh, it's like a tree. Okay, thanks for stopping in. It's always great to have people jumping in. I will probably only be on for like a half hour more, so I'll try to keep it about an hour. So I guess my next order of business really needs to be to tame an RG. So since there's no walkway up here, I need to be able to harvest materials and get back with a load of stuff. More rocks would be nice. And some hide would be nice, little dodo. Unfortunately, this is all obsidian I don't need. It's kind of a bummer. I don't really see a point in harvesting it, taking up inventory space when I really don't need obsidian for any reason right now. Now I could use this map to its fullest and pop back to my base at the bog and get everything I need and come back. I don't know if I kind of feel like it's cheating. I don't know why. I mean, this is their rules. If it was one world, if it was one world instead of these separate pieces like this, I wouldn't feel bad about it, I guess. Going back to another base and getting something to bring to the new one I'm trying to build. So we've got... So what I'm going to assume, we've got the bog on the right, and as you can see in the upper left corner, there's a little bit of blue. So that leads me... I haven't seen any of this stuff. I'm sure everyone has seen it already. I'm going to assume that the ocean biome is up above that. And then we've got the winter biome there, and then there's only one left, the volcanic biome, which I assume is above that. So I don't know where I want to make my main base yet. Since I haven't seen them all. But I need to stop using this wingsuit because it's going to break shortly, I would think. Yeah. I didn't realize for a while after they came out with these glide suits that it damages your chest piece every time you use it, which it's kind of weird, but okay. So we can walk over to the bed, and I think you can just jump over there now. But as you know, you can't take your stuff with you, so you have to use Helena. And she doesn't take you to your That's something I find strange. She doesn't take you to your base locations. She just dumps you in the world. Isn't that weird? Why can't she take you back to the spot where you were before? I don't understand why she can't. But do we have? We do. I don't think I have enough trank arrows to take down a RG. 14. No, I don't think 5 more is going to help that. Huh. So the stack mod doesn't help us because, in this case, because we want meat to rot. And because the stack mod stacks them on top, you know, big thousands, you get like 1,000 meat. They only rot one at a time, so you end up really slowly gaining spoiled meat, which sucks. I can put it in here and let it just, maybe I can split it up. No. Nope. Oh well. Yeah, so I like this spot. I just don't find it very practical to build with. There's just not enough resources here. So we're going to have to tame an RG or something that can carry and fly. And I think over here that's pretty much an RG. And we're eventually going to have to build a way down, a walkway or a ramp or something. That's trees. Alright, so let's jump back to the bog and get some supplies. Sit still, Helena. Say hello. Gives you 300 for some reason. Hold biome teleportation. Bog. And then you just get this option. Why isn't one of them your home bed? You know? Because dropping into the bog isn't a nice place to be, so try it.
Teleport ready.
And then, you know, getting back up here, I got up here using the glide suit.
Here we go.
So when I return, it's going to be really awkward to get back again. But I need more trank arrows and stuff to try to.
Teleport noise is easy.
Okay, yeah. Drop me in the middle of nowhere. Thank you very much. I am not... Now, when I chose, you had a choice of northeast, east, or southeast, and I chose east. I would say I'm in southeast. So you spawn in, and within seconds, you're targeted by the swarm. I'm so glad that's not an annoying feature that everyone hates. 2 swarms. Now, I tried to disable them on my server using the same way you disable any dino. I got its creature ID. I got its creature ID and then had it replaced with the ants. So I thought, well, if it wants to spawn bugs, that's fine. but I would rather it spawn ants than the swarm. So I set that up, but I don't believe that's how the creatures spawn. I don't think that's how it works. I feel that they spawn in a radius around the player. They're not just out in the world wandering like other dinos. I feel they are just spawned around the player just to be an annoyance. We are going the wrong freaking way. See what I mean? This is such a waste of time. Take me back to my base. So I don't think they pop in until they're near a player. You know, so the way sometimes it works in video games is, you see I'm being targeted again, is like Far Cry, for instance. In Far Cry, you have encounters that spawn around the player as the player moves. Since it's a big open world, the player has like a radius around them that spawns things in as they walk. And I think the creatures in the world generally in ARK have spawn points where they appear. And then when you walk away, that is stored in memory and is then respawned again when you come back to that area. Now, in the case of the insects, the swarms, I think they spawn in the radius around the player regardless of his location. I don't think their world location matters whatsoever. So I think putting in a code that says when you're going to spawn a swarm, spawn an ant instead, I don't think that works because it's not doing it on the fly. It's doing it around the player. So that's my theory, at least. I don't know that for sure. See? They just spawned next to me. You know, I would have to disagree with their assessment that this biome is easy. I think this is much harder than the Arctic biome, personally. God, where the hell is my base? Should be any... Can you believe they spawned a Bronto up there? Finally. Yeah, I brought this over from Ragnarok. It doesn't work. There's no wind here or something. Okay, everyone, I'm going to leave it here. Get some supplies and we can go back there and hopefully get things established in the Arctic biome. Really frustrating that the way they have this set up with not being able to find all the resources in the biomes you're in, so you have to jump around or buy stuff from Helena. It's just, I'm not a fan of that. It, like I said, it just kind of feels like lazy design. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know if I'll be streaming this later tonight or maybe tomorrow. So thanks for those of you who joined me, and I hope you are enjoying Genesis. I know it's kind of a challenge. So we'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everyone.
Over here, mate.